Here I am at TLA, and I walked around the floor, and I've gathered a few books, and they're all written by Scott Westerfeld, and I finally found Scott here. So thanks for stopping by, and this is your most recent book, right?
Right, this is Horizon. It's a middle grade book. It's a novel of survival in a sort of fantastic landscape. Basically, I recently reread Hatchet, and I remember how amazing that was and how it completely stands up as a book now for adults. And the only thing really that I wanted to do, Hatchet's this great thing about a kid who's flying in a small plane and the pilot has a heart attack and he winds up crashing and having to survive alone. He doesn't know any of this stuff and he's got to figure it out from the ground up. And I said the only two things that could make that better would be if there were more kids. Because in Hatchet, it's just one, he's kind of in his head the whole time. And I like books about teamwork and about sort of solving problems together. And the only other thing I could think of that would make it better would be like Aliens. So I decided to do a novel of survival about a group of kids who are in a plane crash in a strange jungle that seems to be kind of weird and alien, and the species are wrong and the trees are wrong. And they're all kind of like sciencey geeks. They were on a robotics team together in their school, and they use their sort of problem-solving and engineering skills to survive.
Yes, well, many of your books have groups of teens.
Right.
Yes, so, because this is the second book in a series that you wrote with two other people, right?
Right, Margot Lanigan and Deborah Biancotti and I have written about, this is like literally about a team of super-powered teens.
Right.
They're Zeros is the name of the first book because they're not really heroes. Their powers are not particularly good. Their powers are kind of a problem sometimes, but they do manage to fit their powers together in a way that they're stronger together than they are as apart, which is kind of the way that Deb and Margot and I saw each other when we were writing it.
How do three people write a book?
What we did was sort of a TV writer's model where we would sit together in a room and do the outline of the book and figure out the plot and everything. And then we divide it up into the three different, the six different characters, and we each took two characters. So we write from their point of view. So you're jumping around in points of view, and that also means, each author has their own characters that they are in charge of and that they are responsible for.
So with the two books, is there any one particular character that you would say is based on you as a teen?
Me as a teenager? Probably not. I think all my characters have some of me in them, so it's not like I can see one. I think Yoshi in Horizon is a little bit like me now, because he goes back and forth between Tokyo and New York. He has allegiances to both cities, to both cultures, and I do the same with Australia and New York. And his sort of uncertainty there comes out of my experience. But yeah,
right. And so you have three authors writing about six people in here. Have you ever shared which were your two?
No, that is still a secret. Right before the third book comes out, we'll finally tell everyone who wrote which two characters.
Okay, a good reason to get the third book, yes. So, and I found another book on the floor, and this one is special to me because it's Spill Zone, and it has two of these things, book list and school library journal.
This story is about a young woman whose town was destroyed by a strange, inexplicable event 3 years before. Her parents were lost in that spill. Her little sister has been silent since that night, and she's raising her little sister and trying to sort of keep what's left of her family together. And what she does is she takes her motorcycle into the spill zone at night, which is sort of walled off, and it's illegal to go in there, but she's figured out how to sneak inside, and she takes photographs of the weird apparitions that still exist in that space, and she creates a sort of outsider art with them. She sells them to collectors.
We didn't mention that this is a graphic novel, and the person who did the artwork is?
It's Alex Pouland, and he's an amazing DreamWorks animator and a gorgeous artist, really great work. And the colors were done by Hilary Sycamore, who's also brilliant. The colors, when you're in the zone, are completely otherworldly. Everything changes. It's almost like when you watch The Wizard of Oz and you're in black and white in reality, and then you go into Technicolor when you go into Oz. So it has kind of that feel.
Well, it's of interest to me because it's the mythical town is Poughkeepsie, New York, where I live, and I'm actually able to identify certain landmarks in the book. So that was fun. It's a part of a trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah, there are going to be 2 spill zones. Just a duology. So there's going to be 2. And also you can read a lot of it online right now at thespillzone.com. You can go check it out and see it in its electronic form.
So where do you get the time to do this?
I don't know that I have the time to do this, but I try. I don't have an explanation for that at the moment. I'm late with some stuff at the moment. So
Well, we'll speak to your editors about that. Well, I know you're off to a speaking event today, so we'll see you around TLA. Thanks for being here.
great. Thank you so much for having me.